So, after perishing by eating poison chocolates, I was suddenly in the mood to have chocolates, so I just enjoyed a few chocolates and I'm ready to get back in the game. Uh, this time around, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing, but before I officially start the seventh playthrough, I'm going to be doing something similar to what I did last time. Uh, I'm going to try to make my composure large enough so that I am able to pass the first check. Now, this is much more difficult than the last one because we start off with a malice to composure. But I'm just going to, and see, even if we become afraid, the malice becomes even worse. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get composure. The only thing I think that actually brings real demeanor up is attending, or to become yielding. The easiest way to become yielding is to attend court. The problem with that is that it also makes us more depressed, and we start off depressed. So we'll see what we can do in order to reach, or just find out how much composure we actually need in order to pass the first check, and if it even matters. So I'm going to skip ahead basically to when that is. Okay, so all you need is 10 composure, which isn't impossible. If you turn afraid, it is impossible, but getting 10 composure is not so difficult, actually. So we'll see what happens now. Juliana swings her sword. There, it's dead. You look down at your feet and see a snake in the grass. Oh my god, Charlotte, get it together. Okay, so that's all we needed to know. Uh, no matter what you do, I mean, maybe if you execute Juliana, it changes, but I highly doubt that. I can't even fathom the amount of moon logic that would take. Unless Juliana's the one who set the snake, such a thing isn't impossible. You know what? I'm going to find out exactly what happens when you do execute Juliana, just because I've never done it before. So we're going to go to title screen and see what happens. So I'll check in with you once I've done that. Right, so it's not actually executing her, it's arresting her. So we'll see what happens if we arrest her. Well, I suppose she won't be a problem anymore. So let's see if that changes anything with the snake. So I'm looking through this, and yeah, she's got magical healing powers. Yeah, this time I was a snitch. So yeah, if we arrest her, it doesn't have any immediate repercussions. But maybe we could visit the dungeons. Caution is wise for one in your position. Hasty judgments can lead to trouble. Are you ready to listen now? Having fun in there? Are the rats being good company? Because you're never leaving. You flick your fingernail against the metal bars to remind her of her place. Oh my god. What just happened? For a moment, the ground seemed to tremble. Was that an earthquake? You're not sure, but you think you'd rather not be in the dungeons right now. Interesting. Let's keep at this. Let's see what happens. So, now it has no effect. If we talk to our father, do we get anything special? Doesn't look like it. Okay, we take the necklace. Alright, I guess it might not have an impact, and regardless, the snake showed up anyway. That was really the only first choice we could make. But as far as I can tell, there's makes no real difference in what you do. The snake is always going to show up. and Charlotte is always going to leave, and you're always going to survive, no matter what happens. Uh, Charlotte might not always be so lucky, but in theory, she has magical healing powers, so she should be fine. But there is a poison check I need to pass. Maybe I should focus on passing that poison check. Well, whatever. Either way, we're going to the title screen. Alright, I'm going to do another test run, basically, where I find out exactly how much poison knowledge I need in order to pass that first check. So you're not going to see me until I figure that out. That's interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, so now, see, I'm thinking about this now, and it makes perfect sense. It's so completely obvious. But Charlotte has to actually get bitten for the poison check to even show up. Because sometimes, yeah, it never even shows up. So, what needs to happen for Charlotte to get bitten? Um, Juliana needs to be there. Because I'm curious about what happens to Charlotte because she never shows up after this one instance. And it's probably completely unimportant, but all right, we'll see if I can. I'll see if I can get this check. Anyway, 10 didn't do it, so on to the next one. Okay, 20 doesn't work either. Interesting. 30 also doesn't work. This one might be new. It is possible to become immune to the venom of a particular snake by routinely ingesting very small amounts. However, this protection is temporary and will not provide any help against other snakes. That was a success. Okay, so that was 40. There's no known cure for milk viper venom. Many people just die. But her mother said she's okay, so I guess it turned out alright. Maybe she has a guardian angel. So, okay. She can heal other people. Assumedly, that means she can heal herself. But I don't really know. So, I don't know if this is entertaining to watch, but I am just very, very curious about what checks are possible to pass. I assume they're all possible to pass, no matter what. But what ones, really mean something. And again, a lot of them, don't really seem to have any significant importance. You just don't need to, as long as if you pass the check, if you don't pass the check, everything turns out the same. So, yeah, and again, maybe, way down the line, I still haven't actually reached my coronation day for the very first time. Either way, I think that's enough experimenting. I think it's time to start my 7th playthrough officially. So let's go back to our title screen. Yep, skip ahead. I've played this before, unfortunately. Okay. So, before I start this up, what checks do I really want to pass? So, yeah, as we all know, the first important one to pass is court manners. And we're going to keep Juliana around, so climbing is going to be important to keep around as well. And eventually we're going to need presence. There's just so much stuff all the freaking time. Alright. So we have Malice's 2 Royal Demeanor, so it's probably not. Yeah, we definitely can't learn any court manners right now. But if we become afraid, which is very easy, we can begin to learn court manners with no bonuses or malices. What gives bonuses to conversation? Okay, so cheerful does, but here's the thing about that, is that you only need 10 to pass that first check. So it's not as important to get the bonus for it. Even though it's always nice to get the bonuses, it's not essential. Decoration keeps coming up. We're gonna learn expression. Gonna put everything in expression. Decoration, instrument. Yeah, we know. Lottie, you are not sticking around for the whole month. Hate to break it to you. I tried everything to keep you. So if we become less depressed, which is easy, I think all we need to do is visit Charlotte and we'll become more cheerful. Or we can attend a service. Yeah, it's very, very easy to become all this. If we become lonely, we can get benefits to conversation. Does that make sense? No, but it might be relatively easy to achieve. So now we're afraid. That's pretty much expected. We get bonuses to agility and faith. I'm going to focus on faith this time around. Divination and lore. Whoops. There. Okay, so we've got Juliana. We are going to let her stay. As you wish. Okay, so if we do walk in the gardens again, no, we'll be afraid, but we'll be closer to being lonely. And it's always good to get more lore. So I will. What helps with history? Yielding helps with history. Yielding is pretty good overall. Surprisingly good. Anyway, divination. Yeah, all the stuff we know. And this, we all know. We become more afraid. Right, that's actually pretty difficult to get rid of. Attend service. We become less afraid. Maybe if we pass that check, we can become... We don't get that afraid thing again, but it's not so bad. So right, we're still focusing on faith. Oh, we haven't done any meditation. I suppose we can do 2 classes of meditation in a row. We have a new outfit. We failed the poison check. Doesn't matter. Right. So now... Lonely and cheerful. Yes, so now we're lonely. Excellent. We have an outfit. We might as well wear it. And we want to boost court manners. Right. Yeah, what else is there? Medicine. Is medicine going to come up soon? The answer is basically yes. But not as soon as court manners. So we're going to take... Court manners... and battlefield medicine. No, herbs. Okay. Don't wear it. Perfect. Alright, what checks do we have coming up? Oh, we do have military checks coming up soon. Not that it really matters. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, what are we? We're lonely. We can let that ride for now. So that gives us more bonuses to conversation and medicine. So 1 in conversation, 1 in medicine. So conversation, we're going to use flattery. Medicine, we're going to do battlefield medicine. Oh, right, we need to actually talk to this person. Okay, we passed the lore test, which, again, I don't really think matters. So we need to talk to our father now. So, I just do the exact same thing. Public speaking and poison. Hmm. So I can apologize? Hmm. Alice is a little, unamused there. So now it'd be nice to do things that make us a little more pressured. In fact, this would make us yielding, which is actually quite nice. No, it wouldn't. Apparently, it makes us depressed instead. Military. Like so. Yeah, this guy invented movable print. Who the heck cares? We're gonna talk to father. So now we're still depressed. How depressed are we? Not very. Yeah, that's not so bad. So where were we? Right. We have a little bit of military, so we should be able to pass that first check. Now we're not going to do great in that initial battle. I'm just going to take expression classes. Voice and decoration. So this guy, yeah, we'll prepare for battle. Okay, and this guy's trying to flirt with me. Right now we're still depressed, but if we attend service, we'll just become lonely. I'll try to find a way. Okay, so now we're more willful, but that means we're still depressed. Decoration is important, but if I need to get past 50 decoration, I'll need to improve instrument and voice first. So, instrument, voice, done. We have a new outfit. Okay, not a great battle, but c'est la vie. So now we need to improve that. We can become less depressed. Now we're lonely. That gives us bonuses to conversation, but we need a bonus to world demeanor. So we need to become yielding at some point. Or at least that would be nice. Okay, so conversation and medicine. Public speaking, court manners, flattery, all of those seem to be relatively important. However, I think it's possibly more important to get herbs in battlefield. Make sure we pass that check. So we have a new outfit. Huh. Haven't seen that one before. I guess I've really not focused on expression. But that's fine. So where were we? We need to, yeah, take medicine classes. Herbs, battlefield medicine, go. So we've got 30 in each. We should be able to pass that check easily, but we don't know enough about lore to know what a Keythong is. That would be an interesting experiment to make, seeing what it takes to pass either or both of those checks. Because otherwise we become depressed now, right? Yeah, +1 depressed. Which makes us officially depressed. Attend service. Lots of things make us depressed in this game. So we need more conversation. Yeah. I'm going to ignore medicine for now. Yeah, these are all pretty much even. So I'll use court manners and flattery. Oh, this woman. Yes. Invest. Okay, so our mood, we're lonely. I would like to become yielding. So now we're depressed. Let's increase our decoration. Because we should be able to pass some checks that we normally have difficulty passing. And what else? Decoration and divination? Sure. You learn to mix paints and apply them to canvas, capturing the light and color of the castle gardens. You study the art of floral design, seeing how the proper arrangement of flowers can affect the character of a room or an outdoor space. Okay, I remember you. Yep, executor and all that stuff happens. So we are currently depressed. This is going to become a theme, but luckily we can now become yielding. Finally. Okay. So royal demeanor, history, and faith. We need everything here. We especially need presence. Composure is also helpful. God, there just isn't enough hours in the day to learn everything I want. Okay, so presence, pardon me, is the most important. And we'll do composure and presence. Done. So my divination isn't high enough for that yet. Okay, so that makes me angry and willful. Oh, whoops, that was kind of an accident. Not necessarily a bad thing, though. We can get a bit of a boost to our military while we're here. So let's do that. We need strategy and naval strategy. Gotcha. Okay, so we're currently angry. I'd like to become less angry, but it's difficult to do that easily. What makes me more afraid? No, I'll just attend service. I'll still be angry, but stay levy. We can increase our military stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Take classes on naval strategy and logistics. I will be leading the parade. I'll also make a speech. Why not? Oh, partial success. Huh. Cute. At the end of the route. Alright, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so could have been worse. We're still angry, but ooh, we can become true neutral. Sure. Okay. That can be handy. So, what next? What next? What next? We're gonna do elegance and internal affairs. Yeah. Where were we? Okay, royal demeanor, elegance, and espionage or intrigue, internal affairs. As ready as I'll ever be. Or whoops. I was trying to pass that decoration thing, but I accidentally skipped through everything. Oh, cool. So we passed that check. Yeah, sense magic failed. Oh well. So current mood neutral. That seems strange. I feel like I should be afraid instead. We'll visit the dungeons. Yeah, we are afraid, so what the heck? I don't get it. Anyway, faith is pretty good to have. So we're going to do lore and divination. Whoopsie. Alright, So even though I failed the flattery check, yeah, he still isn't interested in her. I'm still not quite sure. I used to think, okay, intrigue failed, unfortunately. I was trying to pass that. Um, yeah, I used to think that blowing up the castle tower uh, was what made him start to look for other women to breed with. But then when I was editing my video, I noticed that that all happened. This scene happened before I ended up blowing up the tower in my first playthrough, so that wasn't it. Okay, so what's my mood? It's pressured. Pressured isn't a bad one. Well, what does it give me bonuses to? Athletics and faith. Faith is nice. What's the opposite of pressured? Lonely. Lonely is easy to get. So I could become cheerful instead. That would help with conversation. Yielding is quite good. You know, lots of things give bonuses to faith, I now realize. Yielding gives a bonus to faith, pressured gives a bonus to faith, and afraid gives a bonus to faith. So it's not difficult to rack up points in faith. I wonder if that's a hint to not not focus on it too much. Maybe I'm being a little too Anyway, I need to level up my demeanor, so I shouldn't be pressured. If I become more lonely and more cheerful... Actually, what if I become yielding? Attending court would make me +2 yielding, +1 depressed, and +1 pressured. So I might become yielding. Yes, I'm yielding. Awesome. So I need more presence in order to level up my magic. Yielding is very bad for Lumen. Yeah, extreme. It's just, and it's really bad for weapons. Wow. Okay. Where was I? Royal demeanor. I'm going to do composure and elegance, and it makes perfect sense to me. So don't worry if it makes sense to you. Okay, we have any possible idea about budgets. We will raise taxes. Doesn't seem to matter. So we are still yielding. If we could become, yeah, let's walk in the gardens. Should make everything a little more normal. So current mood, yielding, and now we're gonna take presence twice. That makes sense to me. Now, yes, presence, done. New outfit. Okay, so this guy needs to be pardoned. We become slightly depressed, but not depressed enough to actually make a difference. In fact, we can just walk in the gardens again. Now everything's at normal, except for this. So we're yielding here. We have a new outfit, boosts royal demeanor, handy to have. And so that means I should be able to visit the, I should have done that actually last time, but whatever, doesn't matter. One thing I need to learn, yeah, I need to know history, but I also need to know faith. I'll learn faith. Meditation, lore, boom. Oh, this is new. You stare into a polished crystal ball and relax, letting your mind wander. You close your eyes and visualize a crystal ball floating in front of your eyes. You close your eyes and visualize a crystal ball floating through the air, moving past your eyes and into your mind, filling you with light. I think this is new too. At the height of the Novan Empire, all the major dukes and duchesses were lumens, and they conquered their enemies with beams of light and terrible summoned monsters. Those monsters eventually broke loose, killing their captors and destroying the old capital on Cathver Lake. The resulting chaos shook the empire. 200 years ago, a great force of darkness covered Nova, threatening to wipe out all life in the domain. It took the self-sacrifice of the Queen and her complement of lumens to defeat that doom. Only the Duke of Ursul refused to join in the defense, and therefore survived. Sketchy. Alright, that's kind of hilarious. So, we know what to do. Ignore it. So, mood. Right, we need to visit the treasury. Presence wasn't enough. So, I'm struggling to figure out what these outfits actually do, right? Because that should have been a pass. This is difficult. Whatever. I'm going to... God, because what would my presence need to be? Because right now it's 57.1, right? But if I put this on, it's... Sorry, if I put this on, it's 67.1. So I gotta test this out now. I'm gonna go to classes. Right, I get bonuses to conversation and athletics. All good things to have. Alright, I'm gonna learn composure and elegance again. You lie on a couch and try to remain relaxed, while your teacher smacks your heels with a leather toss. Are we sure this is training and not just some strange fetish? Speaking of strange fetishes, you are strapped into a corset and hoop skirt and practice walking with these. The corset makes it hard to breathe and twist, and the skirt sways out of control if you move too rapidly. So because I'm not engaged, I can marry the kid. Neat. So I'm cheerful right now. Cool. If I become more depressed and more willful, +2 willful, +1 lonely. Sure. So I'm still cheerful. And I'll work on presence and public speaking. He practiced giving commands to the castle staff, rather. Neither asking nor demanding, but telling them what needs to be done. As long as you believe it to be true, they will as well. Alright, so I'm not going to pass any of these checks. I want to pass these checks, man. Before I decide what to do with this lady. So we're cheerful. We could become more depressed and more... or just attend service. Then we should become willful instead. And willful will help with... intrigue, military, and lumen. Oh, I know what we need to do. Yes, perfect. We have a new outfit, which does something. Who knows? Right. Can we take lumen classes? Not yet. So we may as well take some military classes instead. Strategy and logistics. Yeah. Animal handling. Well, I don't need to visit Adair. I need to visit Juliana. Yeah, I remember. Or Sailor Moon. How much time do I have to learn sense magic, resist magic, and wield magic? I'm going to learn about meditation and divination. Easy. You learn to visualize the space around you so that you can see the whole room with your eyes closed. You discover that if you put yourself into the right frame of mind, your entire body begins to glow faintly. Alright, this seems like something completely different than meditation. You study the interpretation of dreams, with warnings that dreams are easily forgotten, misremembered, or warped by thoughts and desires rather than true vision. Wow, my divination is pretty darn high. So, okay, we are way too cheerful right now. Let's bring that down a little bit and become willful so we can lumen ourselves up. Interesting. So visiting the treasury will just give us +1 willful now. But I'd like to bring down the cheerfulness a lot. Oh wait, this would add cheerfulness. I want more depressed. So more depressed and afraid. Yeah, sure. Yeah, after visiting our mother's tomb, we are still so incredibly cheerful. God, our divination was at 80. Well, it wasn't at 90, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to finish up meditation and lore. See what awaits me. You discover that if you put yourself into the right frame of mind, you really can see with your eyes closed. And you discover that if you put yourself into the right frame of mind, you can sense things happening in nearby rooms, even behind closed doors. This is not meditation. Okay, lore. A lumen once tried to lift the curse from an enchanted spring whose water was poisonous and glowed green. After dispelling the magic, she tasted the water and fell dead. The green glow was not a curse, but a spell placed by a lumen long before to warn everyone away from the spring's natural poison. That's actually hilarious. Alright, a lumen may willingly surrender control of his or her magic to another. This is how the Novan Empire came to dominate the world. A growing force of lumens focused on a single ruler, granting that king or queen immense power. It is now believed that strong magical power attracts danger. Therefore, after the doom shadow was banished, the crystals of the fallen dukes and duchesses were destroyed. Only the crown and the duchy of Ursul maintain active lumens. Interesting. Yeah, we should have enough money to send. Now, if we visit the treasury, we can become willful, or we can become depressed and afraid. Let's just become willful. Ooh, we can see how much money we have. We have 10,903 gold lassie. Yeah, fairly large amount. I've never had any money problems in this game, which is quite nice. So now we have bonuses to Lumen. Let's take advantage of that. Sense and resist magic. Yeah, I've read all of this. You remember dreaming about a road through a dark forest, surrounded by monsters like the Keithong your father told you about. Of course, the old forest is nowhere near Sudbury. Sure. I'll try to, do battlefield medicine. So right now we're cheerful. And we need bonuses or just no malices to medicine. Medicine. So we don't want to become angry. And if possible, it would be nice to become lonely, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we can just mellow things out, try to become more depressed and yielding by attending court. Yeah. So we're still cheerful. And let's learn about poison and then battlefield medicine in that order. You learn that soldiers should never sleep in damp clothes or on damp ground. This is unhealthy. So that one I remember. Oh, okay, so I'm dead. Alright, well, died from an arrow once again. Okay, so 40 is not enough. Okay, so I have an idea of how I want to do my next playthrough. Um, God, I don't even know if this playthrough had enough stuff happening in it to make it its own separate video, so. Hmm. Yeah, I might try to just start a new playthrough and really focus on becoming yielding and learning lore and whatnot. Because yielding gives malices, huge malices to weapons and lumen, uh, but huge bonuses to to world demeanor, history, faith, all super, super important. And yeah, I don't think we need weapons or lumen necessarily in our playthrough. So that's what we're going to try to do. Title screen, start game. Okay, we're going to focus on becoming yielding as fast as possible. So right now, the checks for decoration are so hard to pass. Now, on one hand, it makes me think, oh, that means I should just ignore decoration. On the other hand, it makes me think, well, that means I have to start it super early to get everything done correctly. Okay, we're going to learn animal handling. We're going to learn about horses and falcons. Done. Okay, it's my cousins. You're not going to stick around for a while. So our mood is depressed. We want to become yielding kind of ASAP. Attending court will make us more depressed, but it will also make us more yielding. And becoming cheerful. So let's say hypothetically, right? We become all the way yielding, but all the way depressed. Then we'll stay depressed. But it's very easy to become cheerful again. We just walk in the gardens or play with our toys. In fact, this is a pretty good one. Yeah, we'll play with our toys. So now we're afraid, which is to be expected. We're gonna... we don't need to learn court manners yet. What would be more important? Possibly agility. Well, so what do we have? Agility and faith. Yeah, learning about faith apparently is, well, you can do some pretty interesting things with it. So... eventually we need to know more reflexes, but until then, we're just going to focus on faith. Meditation, divination. Actually, lore. Sure. So we are going to send her away. So we actually became more yielding from that. Excellent. So we can literally just... if we play with our toys, yeah, we'll become yielding. Excellent. Okay, so now we can do royal demeanor, which includes composure, elegance, presence. Presence is a pretty important one. We haven't had the snake thing happen yet. But keeping our composure didn't actually matter, except that Lottie didn't get poisoned. Let's try to pass that check. I think it was a pretty easy one to pass, if I recall correctly. So composure, done. History, we can learn about foreign affairs. Okay, so I'm going to try... oh, right, we sent her away. Whoops, that was a reflexes one. Regardless, she is not going to end up poisoned. Well, that was a completely useless composure check. So we're going to try to stay yielding the whole game, honestly. I don't think there's any reason not to. Alright, so we're yielding. We're going to work on... We don't need court manners yet, but we might as well take it now. Court manners, and we're going to learn about Novan history. Right, so mood, yielding, we'll just try to become less afraid. No. Yeah, we'll become -1 afraid. Easy. So, what now? We're going to learn about world history and foreign intelligence. Sedna, that's in Talas, the domain to our southeast. I'm not going to wear it. Okay, so actually, that's something to keep in mind. I don't need to pass a check on both. What's it called? Yeah, I don't need to pass a check on both foreign intelligence and foreign affairs. Just one. So if I can remember that, I'll try to. Okay, current mood, still yielding. We'll try to just keep it there. And take a look at what we have. Bringing our elegance up would be helpful. Elegance and internal affairs. Boom. Yeah, no thanks. You're trying to corrupt me. Okay, good. Attend service. God, you know, the sooner I bump up divination, the better, really. Whatever, I'm gonna try to keep learning, Let's focus on royal demeanor for now. Or should we? Certainly easier to pass certain checks. We're gonna learn about history. Focus on history. Maybe we'll find out something neat. Yeah, I knew about all this. Gracefully step aside, just as planned, all according to Keikaku. Okay, so more history. We're going to learn about world history and then Novan history in that order. Okay, GFR is going to be very important. The Duchy of Sudbury is currently held in regency by Countess Liek. Okay, for her daughter Gwenelle, who's going to be turning of age quite soon. Yeah, this guy, we don't know enough about it, so we're just going to tell him to take a hike. Let's talk to father. We should, yeah, we have a scholar's gown, which I wouldn't really consider that a scholar's gown, but what the heck do I know? Right. World history and foreign affairs. Southeast lies the domain of Talas, with which we have enjoyed fairly cordial relations. Sedna, their chief province, borders the Novan Duchy of Elath, and nobles from the two provinces have been known to intermarry. Okay. The Duchess of Lillo was not part of the pre-imperial Nova domain, but the western range of the Yeva nomads, a faction of the Aveni who wished to settle, offered their allegiance willingly to a Novan queen, and their chief was named a duke, so they're filthy savages, barely even human. Okay, Aurora Borealis, I remember that. 100-Year War which left much of Borealis uninhabitable. I've read part of that. I don't know if I remember this specifically. Okay, sister. So I know foreign affairs. Okay, so now I have to do diplomacy. Good to know. So we're still yielding. We'll visit the dungeons. Good reminder to stay on the straight and narrow here. History. The last two rulers before your mother, Queen Fidelia, were your grandmother, Queen Ladesh, and her father, King Fulbert. About 60 years ago, the Duchess of Merva died with no close heirs, and King Fulbert claimed the lands for the keeping of the crown. After your mother took the throne, she recreated the duchy and made her brother, your uncle, its duke. So that's the uncle that looks like crap, right? Interesting. Because the Lilans are descended from Yeveni castouts who were officially shunned, the Yeva nomads do not acknowledge that Lilla even exists. They treat their pardon me. They treat their western border as an invisible wall and Novan emissaries as travelers from an impossibly distant land. Over the mountains to the northeast lie the deserts of the Piraeus tribes, who are traditionally hostile to Nova but too lacking in resources to mount a credible threat. Small groups of Pyrrhian raiders are sometimes found in Kegel and Sudbury. Okay, I wonder if those are the bandits we found. Hels and Marie are neighboring duchies. Together, the siblings Bryn and Banyan govern most of southern Nova. So we know that, at least. It was the Duke of Hellas who tried to take over... yeah. Ixion wants us to be good neighbors to the north because they're always fighting with Terax, their neighbor to the south. Considering your problems with Terax, do you really want to make me an enemy as well? Perhaps not. Knowing... okay, so passing these history checks actually makes a difference? That's interesting. Yes, I won! I think you failed your composure check there. I failed my composure check. That was awesome. Okay. So what do we do here? There's no true neutral. Actually, there is, pretty much. We can attend service. So we're still yielding. And we can... oh, God, no. Just put on our boring school uniform and continue to take classes in history. We're going to take world history and then Novan history. Okay, Aurora Borealis is now mostly made up of tiny domains containing no more than a few village-like settlements, each officially ruled over by shamanic lumens. They have few resources and live primarily from the sea. He read a brief history of the rise and fall of the Novan Empire. There was a time where it seemed likely that Nova would grow to cover the entire world, but it all came apart. The Novan Empire once had outposts on the western continent, but was driven out 600 years ago. The most important domain in that area today is Shangia, who will eventually attack us. Oh boy. Alright, I think I gotta drink some water before reading all this. About 200 years ago, a great black cloud formed over Nova, bringing cold and sickness. The sun could not shine, and the air was gritty and foul-smelling. Many people died, including the queen at the time and most of the high nobility, before the cloud finally dissipated. Until about 600 years ago, the capital of Nova was on the shores of Cathra Lake in southern Caloris. After that became uninhabitable, a new capital was built here on Lampsey Island. We live on an island? It was the chaos of that period which triggered the eventual collapse of the empire. The most famous ruler of ancient Nova was King Latimer. According to history texts, he began the policy of gathering light, which led to the predominance of the empire. Unfortunately, the texts don't explain what exactly that policy was. There's a reference, but the volume is missing. But we know That was about lumens lending their power to the king. Oh, interesting. So lore failed, Novan history success. The Old Forest, that's the area by Cathra Lake where the capital was. Until it was abandoned. So we become more depressed. Okay. Let's attend court. And we'll figure out, oh, whoops, no. Figure out the rest of Novan history, foreign affairs and world history. Alright, the domain of Terrax, far to the south, has warred with Ixion on and off for centuries, even when both are part of the Novan Empire. Interesting. Gotta increase your crown authority. Your grandmother assisted the Ixionites in putting down the last disagreement 32 years ago. The island domain... See, okay, I love all this stuff. This lore building stuff is amazing. The island domain of Malini was once a small outpost of the Novan Empire, but was simply forgotten about in the chaos 600 years ago. They were so pleased to have gained their independence without violence that they have remained a strong trade partner to this day. So they're independent. I briefly remember something about that. You learned that in the decline of the Novan Empire, slave raiders from Orcus terrorized the western coastline until your paternal great-grandfather, then Duke of Colorus, who's also my current father, led a fleet to their capital and came back with most of their treasury. Handy. Until 200 years ago, Shangia was not a true domain, but a confederation of trading city-states, each largely independent except for the limited rule of an elected council. An eternal dispute led to the eventual victorious general declaring himself king, which is Togami. In recent years, the Queen of Shangia has pursued the Queen? Huh. Weird. Has pursued an expansionist policy, conquering several smaller domains nearby and bringing them under her control. Okay, so I don't think I can build this hospital, which I have no idea what it even does, but maybe one day we'll find out. So we're going to stay yielding. So now we know everything we ever need to know about history. Excellent. What next? What next? What next? Royal demeanor does seem to be pretty important. If I could max that out, that would be handy. Let's do it. So we're going to go to royal demeanor, presence, royal demeanor, composure. Yeah, I remember you. Oh, whoops. Family ties are complicated. Well, executor. If I could just pass that internal affairs mark as well, that might actually change the options that I have in dealing with this. And it may prevent Kivan from attacking shadows. That's an interesting idea. So our mood is yielding, obviously. We're going to work on royal demeanor. Elegance and presence. So right, divination. I need to do... This is perfect. Do we have a true neutral thing? Not really. Okay, so we have a new outfit. Yeah, doesn't matter. We are going to learn about elegance and presence. Again. You practice graceful arm gestures for every motion, from offering your hand for a kiss to taking hold of a banister at the stairs. That's new. Strange. Okay. So we're going to learn about composure and presence. Yeah, very kinky. Okay, I remember all that. I'll lead the parade. Interesting, my elegance check failed. And I still don't know what causes this tree to freak the heck out. Whatever. I've done service. Gonna be the most religious queen ever. We'll take classes on composure and elegance. Oh, what? You are strapped into tight, heavy armor and made to walk around in it. Learning that any attempt at sudden movement will catch painfully or trip you up. Slow and steady is the way to go. What is this kinky? I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead. Your teacher smears your body and clothes with strawberry jam and makes you walk around like that for hours, facing the funny looks and snickers aimed at you without hiding or becoming angry. You practice walking over smoldering coals with bare feet. So long as you keep moving steadily and do not panic and freeze or run, you are not burned. You practice eating slowly and with a minimum of mess, chewing each bite a set number of times before swallowing. You practice standing up, sitting down, and picking up items from the floor. Bend at the knees, not the waist. Don't want to upskirt anybody. You practice speaking and laughing quietly, not trying to disappear or go unheard, but focusing your energy into a smaller space so that it draws people closer. Alright, I think I should pass some checks here. You let your eyes rest upon each in turn. Excellent. So I'm going to fail the dancing check. Intrigue plus court manners. Okay. So, yeah, I step on him. Court manners and flattery failed. Okay, so yeah, words of wisdom because we were able to handle the situation diplomatically. And my cousin still hasn't showed up. Alright, we are going to learn presence and composure. You practice watching people and willing them to feel your gaze on them. Inevitably, they will be drawn to you. You imagine... Oh, God, you're manifesting. You imagine things that you want to happen in the near future and then convince yourself and others that those things will happen. What is this, a secret? Alright, you organize a group of castle staff and coach them through carrying out a complicated multi-stage task. Your teacher gathers up some of the castle staff to shout insults at you while you practice staying calm and not bursting into laughter. Your teacher instructs you in a game of cards, teaching you to bluff with a straight face. Interesting. So I'm definitely going to pass this composure check. You take a deep breath. Okay, so we can actually greet her politely. You manage to smile at her in what you hope is a welcoming manner. Good day to you, Countess. Your Highness, good day to you as well. I was just speaking with your father about... Well, it wasn't important. I think it was important. Please allow me to excuse myself. I don't wish to be in the way. She bows her head to you and exits. Once she's gone, you raise an eyebrow at your father. Don't give me that look, young... So we should receive a compliment from him about handling it. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, intrigue failed. That's, I think, a somewhat important check to pass, but I'm not entirely sure. So, let's walk in the gardens. We'll learn about elegance and ciphering. What gives bonuses to intrigue, I wonder? No, we should focus on our everything we have a bonus to. So, elegance and faith in this case. Okay. Elegance, faith. What do we need? Yeah, meditation. Which is apparently actually just learning magic. So this is all new. Pardon me. You practice sitting quietly and listening to the conversations of others without becoming bored or restless. You practice standing in attractive positions in full costume and maintaining those poses for long periods of time. Okay. So we have no idea what to do with any of these. But we'll lower taxes. We haven't even spent any money yet. Attend service. So now we are full up on royal demeanor and history, so we're just going to focus entirely on faith. Then we can stop being yielding. So, right. Divination and lore. Where is it? Faith, divination, lore. So what are these checks? I remember I got a partial success on that one. And then I asked my aunt to come over, and the guy was like, "Oh, whoa, you're gonna listen to that witch?" And I was like, "Excuse you." And then I pardoned him anyway, because he was a demon. Right, so meditation and divination again. Meditation, divination, boom. Okay, so that's terrible. We're gonna ignore it. Better than becoming injured. Right. So, more faith. We will learn about meditation and lore. No. There. So this, I remember this island stuff. Interesting. So, they're independent, but the Novans had a thing with them. Sorry, I want to make sure I got all this. Not to mention that she's closely related to the Duchess of Mead and the Duke of Kegel. She could control almost the entire eastern half of Nova. People already call her Nova's other queen. I don't know anything bad about her, though. So we'll marry him. One thing, hang on, now I'm thinking about it. So if we do eventually face an invasion, if I betroth myself to a foreigner, that would be considered an alliance. So I could actually ask for his help in the war, potentially. So we're yielding. And we'll try to stay that way. Right. Faith. Divination and lore. Right. I'm not going to pass this check. Useful and dangerous. I'm actually going to accept her. I should really work on internal affairs. -1 depressed. So skills, we can learn about meditation and divination. Okay, so this is new. You study the stars and learn about the omens they hold, with warnings that the stars are seen by all and their portents may not be meant for you. You learn that priestesses have other ways of requesting omens from the gods, but that they won't share them with someone not initiated into the mysteries. I'm surprised actually, yeah, you can be really low on animal handling. We'll talk to Adair. Okay. I still don't know what happens if I pick any of the other ones. So where was I? Learning about meditation. Oh, right. Yeah, animal handling. So I only have 15 in 2. I guess that's kind of a little bit. It's enough. So we're going to finish up Faith and then maybe try to get out of yielding. Even though I said I was just going to be yielding for the entire game. So we're going to take lore first and then meditation? Yeah. Okay, Laura's at 100. A falling star at that angle. It means war is coming to Nova. At least it might. Not every sign in the stars is meant for me. Still, if there is war about to happen, this forewarning gives you time to repair and build your strength. Okay. Alright, that's actually quite helpful. So that divination check is really important to get. Huh. Alright, so we're going to become more willful and lonely. Yeah, so what does lonely get me? Lonely gets me conversation and medicine. Medicine can be very important, especially if I want to try to make it to my cousin's coming of age party. So now we are still yielding, of course. You know what else I need? Military. I think it's time to learn some military. Yep, emergency aid. I can't visit the Royal Treasury because I don't have Juliana here. But I think I have enough money. Well, whatever. We're gonna sneak out. That might make us... Oh, no, we're actually cheerful. So, okay, I guess we'll work on conversation for now. So, Gwinnell... Right. Send my regrets. I better stay here. Yeah, so I didn't come to the party, and they're gonna send me a thing saying like, "Oh, why didn't you come to the party?" But that's pretty much fine. Um, so if I become lonely, I can learn more about medicine and about conversation. Right now, I'm cheerful. Uh, hmm. If I become willful, that might be handy. So let's do it. So, right, we're currently lonely. That's fine. We'll learn more about conversation. Try to do everything diplomatically. So, yeah, we want to work on court manners. So, more lonely. Sorry to hear that. So, we need to become more pressured, but it's actually quite difficult. To break out of lonely. Not that lonely is all that bad. Because, well, missing the intrigue is actually kind of bad. I'll sneak out again. So I'm still lonely. I expected that. But we can learn about public speaking and court manners. Oh, this is new. I noticed you were looking over some military records the other day. I was just checking into how many soldiers we had available. If you're desperate to recruit more fighters, you could offer pardons of criminals in exchange for service. Be careful, though. Some of them are dangerous and unreliable. That's why they were in prison to begin with. Sure, let's do it. Alright, let's do that. Criminals probably already know how to fight. Very well. May have been a bad idea. Whatever. Sneak out. So now we're willful. Okay, great. We can learn a little more about intrigue and military. Before I do that, I'm going to bring all these conversation ones up to 50. So public speaking and flattery, I think. Sure, we'll put on a tea dress, do public speaking, flattery. No, and I have no idea what happened to her. So, yeah, this is a kind of a sticky situation to get out of. But, I mean, we are willful, and we want to stay willful, so... that's not too bad. Okay, so we're at 50 now, and even more than that. So now we need to learn about intrigue and military. Military is more important. An omen of war and danger. Yeah, well, we know that war's coming. +1 willful, +1 angry. Sure. Alright. Military. Naval strategy and. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. Naval strategy and logistics. Tournament. We'll offer status and praise. A leaf killed by secret weakness, a hidden threat. Okay, excellent. So, because we passed our divination check, we can save it for later. So as long as we passed one of those, it was pretty much fine. So let's check out our mood. All right. Yeah, we can't do anything to make us more pressured without also making us more yielding. So we're just going to sneak out again. It doesn't actually change anything. Okay, so military, let's go. Strategy and naval strategy. Let's not participate. Yeah, I remember this. -1 willful and +1 pressured. That's actually handy. Because it's going to keep me willful, but... Ooh, 11 battalions, 2 companies, 1 platoon. That's very nice. Okay, we need logistics and strategy. Let's do it. Logistics, strategy. Boom. What is this? Okay, so this is a war deck. Within a week, they will be in Novan waters. Within 2, they could reach the capital. Then we will fight to defend ourselves. You can try to use treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. Hell yeah, we'll do it. I'll direct the fleet. Okay. So we're going to Tor Barracks again. Alright. So, naval strategy and naval strategy. I think it's gotta be. You study the effect of cannons against coastal installations such as enemy docks and seaside villages. You study the difficulty of a sneak attack at sea and ways that it can be achieved. So, I think what's probably going to happen, if I had to guess, is the battle goes well, but my ship sinks, and because I can't swim, I'm just going to drown in the water. Danger in the high seas. You take your position with the spyglass, watching the enemy movements closely and shouting any necessary changes in plan. The Shanjians outnumber you slightly, but it could all come down to strategy. The eventual outcome is not in your favor? Man, my war was really high. The Novan ships are sunk or scattered as the Shanjian forces press towards landfall. Oh, okay. Your grasp of strategy allows you to recognize when the tipping point is passed and order your remaining vessels to retreat before they are all destroyed. This saves lives, but it means leaving the Novan approach completely unguarded. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do. I mean, we'll take classes in logistics and strategy. In that order. So, I haven't learned Lumen at all. The current leader of Shanjia should be Queen Juk. What? Okay. Okay, this has got to be... I think Shenjia is the land of Danganronpa characters. It's gotta be. Is this her husband or a usurper? Alright, I remember you. You yearn to slap the false sympathy off his oily face, but you force yourself to remain calm. Well, then go and find your crystal. Becoming a lumen is a very simple matter. Then we can have our duel. What's the point? You know I can't win. Why don't you just kill me now? Because that's not the game. You want to save your people, don't you? I want to fight a lumen. If you refuse, then the war will continue. I'll sweeten the deal. If you meet me in a formal lumen challenge, I'll call off the invasion even if I win. Really? I swear by the gods, the Nova will be free and safe. Why take that risk? Okay, this I remember. What choice do I have? Oh god, okay, so this is grim. Okay, so you're dead. Your father reaches into his pocket and pulls out a shimmering blue crystal which he places over his heart. Your hair stands on end as a veil of blue sparkle settles over your father, crawling into his skin. When it's over, the jewel has been absorbed into his body without a trace. Fight me. Leave her alone. I was not expecting this. Not even a little at the beginning. Well, this is not what I expected, but it'll serve my purposes just as well. Lumen! Daddy? Be quiet, Elodie. You are not a queen yet. You are forced to sit and watch as the two men work out the details of the duel and its stakes. Then take their places in a carefully warded circle. Your father crosses his arms, summoning up a thick gray fog that swirls around him, hiding him from view. But the Shanjian king conjures a cloud of glowing butterflies which drive into the fog and blow it apart. Then the invader claps his hand together and chants. Fiery red lights cluster over his fingertips and merge together into a pulsating blob before erupting towards your father. He resists it with a beam of blue, so he's really good at this, catching the infernal energy and pushing it back in Togami's direction. You knew what the outcome would be. You knew it all along. Togami is a trained lumen, eager to demonstrate his powers, and your father was your father. The blue crystal reappears lying beside your father's body like an innocently discarded bauble, but now that blue color is discolored by a faint wash of red. The smirking king of Shanjia sweeps the crystal off the floor and tucks it away into his robes. How fitting. First, I end your mother's life, and then your father's? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little taken aback by this twist. You what? You didn't think your death was an accident, did you? That took careful planning. And now the Novan power is mine, and you even get to live. He holds out a hand in front of him, the elegant robe dangling freely. Now kneel and kiss my hand. Composure max, I'm pretty sure you have to have. You stare at that horrible hand hovering before you. You have a choice. Obey. Swallowing your pride, you kneel and press your lips to the backs of his cold fingers. Oh, God. What a creep. Good girl. Well, as I promised, the invasion will end, and my men and I will return across the sea. Unless one of you is so foolish as to attack me, then all deals are off. No one stirs. Pity. I'm alive! I live to see another day. This is the farthest I've ever gone. So, current mood depressed, obviously. These have different effects now. This is +1 depressed and +1 pressured. And this is also +1 depressed. This is +2 yielding and +2 pressured. Interesting. +1 lonely and +1 cheerful. Let's attend service. Yeah, depressed. I can see that. So we have a mouse conversation, unfortunately. I still think it would be worth it to finish off military. And also, now that the foreign issues have been resolved, to work a little more on intrigue. So, yeah. Let's do that. Military logistics. Intrigue ciphering. You learn how to delay the advance of an invading force by disrupting your transport and communications. Okay. The war has ended and the Shanjians have withdrawn. All throughout Nova, a fragile layer of calm lies over a deeper pit of uncertainty and fear. Your court musician has already constructed an epic ballad about your father's last moments, his nobility, his love, his brave sacrifice. His praises are sung in every village square. Rich merchants foresee a great trade in artwork commemorating both of your parents. It doesn't make them any less dead. We could talk to Adair. I kind of want to get out of this depressed mood, but maybe talking to Adair will help. Elodie? Yeah. I'm sorry about your dad. Yeah. Do you want to look at some beetles? I saw a really big green one. Okay. It seems ridiculous when you consider it. The future king and queen of Nova, two lost little orphans grubbing it in the mud. But it's better than being alone, yeah. So we're still depressed, but a little better. Okay. So skills. We are maxed on military. Yeah, it'd be good to keep working on intrigue. I think that can really help me out. Oh god, I'm nervous now because this is as far as I've ever been. Alright, so intrigue. Internal affairs, foreign intelligence. Yeah, would have been nice to know that. Visitors have arrived to see you, your family, or what remains of it. Oh, hey, it's you. My poor darling Elodie, you should not be alone at a time like this. There is still so much to be done, and you so young. We have come to give you whatever help we can. Thank you. She's right, after all. You have a coronation to plan, a domain to run, and without your father, you need some adult to give you advice. Time has slipped by you so quickly. Only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration and your official coronation as queen. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? It is traditional for the palace to provide entertainment and refreshment for the common people when a new monarch is crowned. It is a rare opportunity for the poor of the land to dine like nobles. Considering the recent tragedy, celebrations may appear to be in poor taste. The size and scope of any such feast depends on what expense the royal treasury is willing to bear. An extravagant feast. Marvelous. So we can visit oh, wait, Charlotte? Is she here? Let's find out. Charlotte, oh my god, it's been so long. You're finally back. I don't know why. I've just been like trying to get you back, Charlotte. I've tried so many things, but you're here. Is this a love story? Lodi, I'm sorry about your dad. Why does it always have to be something like this before we get to see each other, Lottie? I'm sorry. More depressed. For a while, all you can do is cling to your cousin and cry. At least you are not alone. Well, we're back to depressed, but that's fine. Ciphering hasn't come up yet. So we'll keep working on that. So ciphering and internal affairs. You have a new outfit. The castle is buzzing with preparations for your upcoming coronation. Ministers press you with details for your favorite colors and flowers and so on. Decoration. You can't really see the point of wasting time worrying about decorations when there's so much else to worry about. Others are more interested in the subject of your marriage. My dear child, there's no shame in delaying matters for a little while. You're so young, and you've been through so much. I could not bear the thought of my own little Charlotte rushing to marriage at your age. Remember poor Kaylee, the last Duchess of Eloth? She was only 17 when she died. Not sure why you're bringing this up, Lucille. I'm not suggesting that you break your word to your fiancé, only that you take the time to reflect. Well, he's not old enough to marry. Yeah, we'll delay longer. You're probably right. There's no need to hurry. That was always the plan. Whatever. Anyway, we can become more lonely and cheerful. Lonely will give me bonuses to conversation. Oh, but it gives me malice as an intrigue, so I'd rather not. So lonely is the opposite of pressured, right? So, I mean, we could become yielding. Wait, no, that would just make me depressed still, but that's fine. Yeah. You attend core sessions and try to focus your attention on the needs of the domain. It's what your father would have wanted. Man, the game is really piling this on thick. And I am totally falling for it. Okay. Intrigue. We will put on our little cat suit here. Oh, it is called a cat suit. I was just going by what it looked like. And learn about foreign intelligence and ciphering. Right, I remember those. At this time last year, so I could very well die here. At this time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school garden surrounded by your friends. A teacher brought you tea and cakes while a wealthy merchant's son wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. Your title was something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like someday, but not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day. Oh, yeah, this is a year ago. But they did send wonderful gifts, some for you and some for you to share. And a week later, they came for a visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. It was the last time you would ever see her. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You are 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared, and now the time has come. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom, and prosperity to you, and through you, to all of Nova. And then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability, according to law and custom? I will. Will you, to the best of your power, uphold the ideals of love, honor, justice, and mercy? I will. Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen, who has sworn you her loyalty. You who have come to give homage, will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy approaches your throne and kneels to swear his or her service to you and your heirs. People of Nova, I give you Elodie, daughter of Fidelia, your true sovereign. What say you all? Long live the queen! Long live the queen! Long live the queen! Thank you. I will. After the coronation and a private ceremony with the high priestess, Elodie was officially offered her mother's lumen crystal. She refused to accept it. For the first time in centuries, magic would have no hold on the throne of Nova. The tragic events of the past year left a gap in the Novan power structure, since Jocelyn, Duke of Coloris, died with no acknowledged heir to his title. Elodie, of course, was the reigning queen, which by tradition would prevent her from holding the duchy as well. In order to resolve the situation quickly and keep the lands within her family, Elodie offered to grant control of Coloris to her uncle Laurent, the current Duke of Merva. The title of Merva, in the meantime, would be transferred to her aunt Lucille, who had always claimed to be descended from the extinct Mervin line. It would then be up to that couple which of their children inherited which territories. During Elodie's reign, the public opinion of lumens and magic in general would fall to a new low. Parents taught their children that lumen power was all tied up with witchcraft and blood sacrifice, and would always lead to sorrow in the end. In some territories, any village outcast found to be in possession of a shiny bit of rock was likely to fall victim to a lynch mob, and the miscreants were rarely punished. Better safe than sorry when it came to magic, after all. Even healers and priestesses were eyed with some suspicion. Who knows what costs their powers might have? The young queen sponsored expeditions of trained knights to venture into the old forest and attempt to exterminate the monsters within. Unfortunately, black magic would not give up its grip on Nova so easily. Many lives were lost, and with their blood, the monsters appeared to grow even stronger. True to his word, Togami and the Shanjians ignored Nova in the years to come, focusing their efforts instead on the far northern continent of Borealis. Long ago, Borealis had been home to the largest known collection of lumens in the world. If their crystals remained, and Togami found them, he could become unstoppable. Or else, Elodie prayed, the magic itself might turn upon him and destroy him. Surely no one man was meant to control that much power. Even an entire domain was too small a space. That was, after all, what had turned Borealis into a wasteland. Perhaps some remnant of that ancient war would still be active and swallow him whole. Years later, when both were adult, Elodie, Queen of Nova, and Adair, Duke of Eloth, were married. An entire week of public celebrations was set aside for the wedding, and both bride and groom paraded through the capital on fine white horses from the east. Their relationship often seemed to be more one of friends and companions than passionate lovers, but they brought stability to Nova. Elodie never truly got over the loss of her parents. She sought solace in religion, wanting to believe that everything that happened was part of some greater plan, and therefore willingly accepted into the guidance of the High Priestess when it came to making decisions for Nova. And thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. Long live the Queen. Ah. Alright, well, I gotta say, I was not expecting that to be the run, which I ended up succeeding in for a lot of reasons. Mostly because everything was so specialized. I only really focused on like 4 different traits. And the military traits ended up being pretty much like useless, I would say. So we're done. I might come back to this game. I might not, honestly. I don't know what else there is to see, if there are other different endings. But now that I've beaten the game once, I may end my moratorium on looking things up. So I may, if there's a wiki for this game, there's probably a wiki for like every single game out there. I can take a look at that, see if there's special strategies, special endings I can get. So right now I have a feeling that there's at the very least 2 endings, one magic and one non-magic. So I just got the non-magic ending. And that's kind of decided, I would say. Well, actually, if you keep Juliana around but you never learn about Loom and stuff, maybe she will take the sacrifice instead of your father. It's difficult to say. What's bonus? Was this here before? Delicate danger. Adorable. Okay, yeah, return. Do I have a checklist? Achievements. Deaths. Epilogues. Oh. Oh, okay, so we have... Right, I've only missed 3 epilogues. This was the... Right, I assume... Because the crystal's red here, it means my lumen was... Lumen crystal is essentially destroyed. Gotcha. Okay, and I remember this one, the vote of no confidence. That was a hilarious one. Man, all right, that was really kind of an experience. So it would be nice to get all these, but I can't promise I'll do it. I just want to say that I had a really fun time. Like usually, I just decide to look up everything, kind of ruin the game for myself. But this time around, that really wasn't the case. So thanks for joining me with this. There may be more in the future, but if not, it just is what it is. So thanks again, and take care.